Day. So again, I want to just take a moment. I'm Dr. Althoff, the president of Illumine School. I'm very excited to have you all here with us this evening, and I'm very excited to be able to learn this evening from Dr. Helmus. She will be our keynote speaker, and I would like to introduce her before we get started. I will take a little bit of time, and when she finishes, to share a few updates from Illumine School. Mr. Pinyero, the executive director of San Ignacio, is also going to share a program that they are starting as well for those with special needs. So I'm excited to be able to share again a number of the things that are going on in our community. Anyhow, Dr. Helmus is a pediatric neuropsychologist who was educated at Brown University and Harvard Medical School. She's the founder of NESCA, a center that provides evaluation and intervention for children and adolescents with special needs in the Boston area. NESCA is almost 30 years old and is one of the largest and most respected neuropsychology clinics in New England. In September, they opened an office in Coral Gables and is serving families here in South Florida as well as in Latin America. And so she's going to share with you refusing to take no as an answer, which again is a message for anyone with loved ones with family with special needs. So, Dr. Helmus, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for that introduction. It's wonderful to be here with all of you and to be moving one step closer to getting Illumine School launched. As Dr. Althoff mentioned, NESCA, my company up in Boston, we recently opened a practice down here in Coral Gables with a bilingual pediatric neuropsychologist. And if anybody's interested, I brought flyers here that talk about the work we're doing. So primarily evaluations of kids. So over the past 30 years, one of the big parts of, is this okay, the mic? That's good, okay. One of the big parts of my job has been to observe educational programs for kids with special needs. And there's enormous variability in these programs in terms of the quality of education and the quality of care that they offer to kids. Earlier this year, I had the opportunity to go to Divine Savior School, which most of you know is the school that John started for students with severe special needs in association with Divine Savior Academy. And I was really impressed. That is an exceptional program. I was impressed both by the education that was being offered to the students as really incorporating all of the best practices that we look for students with special needs. But even more so, I was impressed by the community that is offered to the children and to their parents. And as I toured the school and met with teachers, I was just struck again and again by the level of sort of kindness and respect that was shown to the students and the high standards that they were being held to. And so seeing that program really impressed me with what Dr. Althoff had built. And having built a business myself over 30 years, I know that it takes just incredible commitment to build something like that and to keep it going year after year and balance the needs of teachers, parents, students. And so whenever I meet somebody like Dr. Althoff, who has accomplished such an amazing feat as building this type of a school, I always wonder what drives them. You know, what is it that keeps them going so that they get past all the obstacles, that when people say, no, you can't do it, they still keep pushing ahead and make things happen. And so that was why I wanted to talk tonight about the people who refuse to take no for an answer. When he asked me to talk, I immediately thought of several other people who have inspired me, like Dr. Althoff, and I wanted to share them with you tonight. So the first one I wanted to talk about, a person who doesn't take no for an answer, is Dr. Paul Farmer. Is this mic okay? It sounds like it's like high-pitched.
No, it's perfect. It's great, it's perfect.
It's perfect, okay, good. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like offending all your ears. So Dr. Paul Farmer is an MD who grew up in Massachusetts, educated at Harvard Medical School, and he could have very easily set up a nice practice in a suburb of Boston, joined the Boston medical community, and had a nice cushy life. Instead, he went to Haiti. And when he got to Haiti, what he discovered is that there were children who were dying of tuberculosis and other childhood diseases that are easily treated in the United States. He found that there were women dying in childbirth because they weren't given basic obstetric care. And he decided that he was going to do something about this. And so, of course, he got the chorus of no's. No, you can't help people in Haiti. No, it will cost too much. No, they don't believe in Western medicine. No, they won't comply with treatment. And he kept moving forward. And he wrote a book called Mountains Beyond Mountains about his work in Haiti. And in that book, he describes hiking for hours in the rain to get to a village where there was a child dying, or riding in the back of a pickup truck on rutted roads to get to a woman who was giving birth. That he would do whatever was necessary to make sure that he could provide care for the people in Haiti. And what he determined as he was doing this work is that the best way to help people in Haiti was to build capacity in Haiti. Not to have the doctors from Boston come in and sort of try to fix everything and then leave, but to work with the doctors and the nurses and the other healers in Haiti and form a partnership so that they could advise them, teach them, but that ultimately they would deliver care to the people in the villages. And so he formed an organization called Partners in Health that did just that. It was partners between American doctors and healthcare workers in Haiti. When AIDS started taking over in Africa, he immediately went to Rwanda and he set up another Partners in Health clinic in Rwanda so that he could work with people with AIDS in Africa. And since then, 10 other Partners in Health clinics have arisen in some of the poorest countries in the world. And so his impact has really spread. And it's interesting to me what drove Paul Farmer. Sadly, he died in his early 60s. But what drove him to live in subsistence level housing in Haiti and to work 16-hour days and to probably, take his own health, to risk his own health, and to fly back and forth between these two worlds, to be in Haiti with subsistence level farmers and then be in Boston standing in front of a group of people trying to raise money for Partners in Health and going back and forth. And what drove him is that he was a student of philosophy, and there's a philosophy called liberation theology. And one of the basic tenets of liberation theology is that all lives are worth the same amount. And it doesn't matter if you're a poor farmer in Haiti or a professor at Harvard. All lives are worth the same amount. And when he embraced this, he felt that he now had an ethical obligation to treat people in countries where they weren't being treated. And so it was moral conviction that drove him. It was moral conviction that fueled all of the work that he did in some of the poorest nations on earth. And he really felt that it was a measure of society, of how we treat our most marginalized and weakest members. And that's what drove him. He felt that you can't turn your back on the rest of the world. Another person who doesn't say no, also from Boston, is Reverend John Finley. And Reverend John Finley is an Episcopal priest, but he left the church because he wanted to start a school. And his mission for the school was ambitious. He decided that what he wanted to do was to form a middle school for some of Boston's poorest children. So these are children that are in the foster care system, children that were wards of the state, children who had grown up with every possible disadvantage. And he said, my goal for these children is that I will educate them in such a way that they will all get full scholarships to boarding schools in New England. That is a pretty hefty order. And so everybody, again, said no, that it would be way too expensive to educate these students. They had way too many problems. They would never be able to overcome their background. No private school would accept these students. And he just kept working. And he spent time raising money, recruiting teachers, raising more money, recruiting teachers, finding students, raising more money. And ultimately in 1997, he opened the Epiphany School in Dorchester, which is in Boston. And since 1997, which is 28 years ago, he has consistently met his goal, and more than 95% of the kids that graduate from that middle school go on to get a full scholarship at a boarding school. That's impressive. And so how did he do this? Well, so at Epiphany School, the day starts at 7 a.m. And the students arrive at school, and John Finley is standing outside the front door which in Boston means a lot of weather, February, April, stands outside the door and he shakes the hand or hugs each of the students as they walk in. The kids eat 3 meals a day at school. After dinner, they have a proctored study hall, and they walk out of that building 14 hours after they walked in, 5 days a week. On Saturday mornings, they have a family program where the kids come with their parents, with their siblings, and they work on sort of real life skills like budgeting, cooking, time management, things like that, to try to get the entire family involved in some of these things. The other thing that he discovered is that you had to have these kids meet academic milestones, but they also had to meet social emotional milestones. Because if they were going to go live in boarding school with kids that had come from better backgrounds than they had, they needed to know how to get along. And so he set up an entire curriculum, and kids don't advance to the next grade until they meet not only all the academic milestones, but also all the social emotional milestones, so that they are fully ready to go. And what impressed me when I went to visit the Epiphany School is that when you walk in, the first thing you see written on the wall like this is, never give up on a child. And when I met Reverend Finley, he said to me, these aren't just words, this is what we live by in the school. And he told me a story that has stuck with me for many, many years. And that was that there was a student who had sort of chronic behavior problems at school, was constantly acting out. And one day he just bolted out of the school, left his classroom, and a counselor followed him. And she followed him on foot, block after block, through some of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Boston. Never let him out of her sight. And well over an hour later, this kid finally got tired and sat down, and she went and sat down next to him and just sat quietly with him until he said he was ready to go back to school. And they made their way back to school. John said that after that day, he never had a behavioral problem. You know, it was sort of such a concrete show that you belong here, and we will come after you to include you. One of the things that I also love about the Epiphany School is that John makes the model for the Epiphany School available to anybody who would like to start a school. He gives all the curriculum, the architectural plans, everything that one would need to start a school. And as a result, there's now 19 Epiphany-inspired schools in the United States. And so one person's dream, one person's mission can get multiplied in that way. So what drove John to build that school? So for John, it was religious conviction. He really believes that faith requires action. And so one of the things that John often says is, school is my ministry. And what he means by that is that he expresses his faith, he expresses discipleship, not through giving sermons as a priest, but the daily running of a school that's changing the lives of kids. And that's what drives him through his 14-hour days, working with these kids, and like Paul Farmer, bouncing back and forth between running the school and endless amounts of fundraising. The final person I'd like to introduce you to is a dad. And he is the dad of a young man who has severe autism. And this young man, I'll call him Sam, is nonverbal, does not speak, and he was also diagnosed with intellectual disability. So throughout his entire schooling in Boston, he's been in a special classroom for kids who have autism and intellectual disability. And he had a babysitter who was a graduate student studying communication disorders. And the babysitter said to his dad, would it be okay if I made a communication board for him? Something that I guess had never been tried. And so she made a very simple communication board for him. At that point, I think he was in 8th or 9th grade. And the father was astounded to see that his child knew how to spell, and was astounded to see how much his son had to say. And this was the first time that there had ever been any type of communication. And so the dad brought Sam to NESCA, and he wanted to have him evaluated to find out what is his potential, because it seems like there's much more in here than we ever would have guessed. And so he saw Dr. Erin Gibbons in my practice, who's a specialist in autism, and she recounted to me later that testing this child was painstaking. she spent more than 10 hours in all testing him, because every verbal response he had to just point to the letters on his communication board and spell out word by word what he wanted to say. But she stuck with it and he stuck with it. She said also he was shaking during so much of the testing that he was really anxious and I think, wanted to be able to finally show what was inside. When we finally got the results of the testing back, we confirmed what the father suspected. This child's IQ tested in the gifted range. And so Dr. Gibbons and the dad went back to the public school and said, look, we had this testing, this child is actually functioning in the gifted range, he doesn't belong in this classroom. He needs to be in mainstream classrooms. And the school said, no, the test results are wrong. No, he can't be in a mainstream classroom. No, we can't support him. And this was a dad who is not going to give up. And they pushed and pushed and pushed and finally got him into mainstream classes. We lost touch with Sam and his dad throughout pretty much his high school years until we got a call this past spring. And his dad said, Dr. Gibbons, I'm calling to let you know that Sam got into his first choice of college, MIT.
Wow.
Mic drop. And so, again, just not taking no for an answer and pushing and pushing. What drove Sam's dad needs no explanation for many of us in this room: parental love. I don't know if there's any stronger force on earth. So for me, all three of these stories are about men who moved mountains, kind of one stone at a time. And what drove them to keep going was faith, belief in social justice, and love. And each time they changed a child, that ripples out to a family, that ripples out to a community, and so one small thing can end up making huge changes in our world. So when I met Dr. Althoff and I got to tour Divine Savior with him, I knew that his work was also fueled by something special. And for those of you who know him and work with him, I'm sure you would agree with me about that. And I would say that as I've gotten to know Dr. Althoff more over this past year, that it's probably a combination of all of these things that fuel him. I think there's some moral conviction, I think there's certainly religious faith, and parental love, and that's rocket fuel. And so when John came to me and said, I'm thinking about starting another school, I didn't even wait to hear any details. I was like, I'm 100% behind you. Because why do I need details, right? Anybody who's being driven by that type of rocket fuel is gonna get it done, and they're gonna do an absolutely amazing job. So I hope that you will all stand with me tonight in supporting John in making this a reality. This is a school that is needed here in Miami. Hopefully it will become a model, just like the Epiphany School, for other people to start schools like this. We need these schools all over the United States. And we can do this. He can do this.
Thank you, Dr. Helmus. I very much appreciate you. And Alessandra, hold on, Dr. Helmus, if you would, wait a minute. Alessandra, one of our school moms, would like to also show again our appreciation.
This was made specially for you from Sabrina.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right, once again, thank you. The next person I would like to speak to a little bit is Councilman Rafael Pinyero, who is also the Executive Director here at San Ignacio University. So I would like to just take a moment to introduce him. So if you want to come on up. Councilman Rafael Pinyero was born and practiced in Venezuela. At 15, he moved to Miami, Florida with his family, filled with hopes and dreams for his future. He attended Miami Coral Park Senior High School, where he received the Take Stock Scholarship and was paired with a volunteer mentor who guided him towards college and a career in community leadership. Rafael earned an Associate of Arts from Miami-Dade College, a Bachelor of Public Administration from FIU, and a Master's in Psychology from Lipscomb University. He's held important positions in public administration, working to improve the well-being of South Florida communities. For 5 years, Rafael worked with the Miami-Dade County Parks and Recreation Department, enhancing recreational, cultural, sports, and educational programs for residents of all ages. He also spent 2 years working alongside a Williamson County judge, assisting families dealing with juvenile court cases related to addiction and misbehavior. Rafael's commitment to nonprofit organizations and government initiatives aimed at reintegrating young people into society has greatly impacted their lives. Rafael's contribution to addressing domestic violence and human trafficking in South Florida are also commendable. He actively participates in various organizations providing support in immigration, psychology, employment, and housing. And additionally, he's dedicated to assisting children and adults with special needs, advocating for their health care, housing, employment, and education, especially after they turn 18 years of age. So he will continue to prioritize these causes. And in 2014, he was selected to work as the Chief of Staff for the City of Doral, where he's made a significant impact on the Mayor's office and the city's development. Since 2018, he has worked within the private sector while remaining involved in community initiatives such as food assistance, business openings, and local events. And again, he is married and has one son, so you say hello to his wife. Together with his family, he actively participates in the vibrant Doral community. And again, so while he serves on the council here, he again also is the executive director here at the university. So I'd love to give him a chance to share what they're doing here with all of you. So, Councilman.
Thank you, Doctor. Good evening, happy Friday. It's good to be not only with this great, magnificent group that once again you have touched my heart, you have touched my wife's heart. It's a family thing, and I see you as a family. So know that for now. I mean, I told you the first time, but please keep that in mind because I see each one of you as family. And I want to welcome you to San Ignacio University. Again, the doctor just covered the whole thing. I don't have to say anything, right, about myself. But I just want to say this. I have been involved with special needs and special needs families since I remember, actually when I came to this country at the age of 16. And one of my main goals as a councilman has been how we can actually provide more for our special needs families and kids. How we can actually provide more programs as a city, more assistance to our families that are here in Doral, and not only in Doral, but anywhere in Miami-Dade County. And I think we have been doing a pretty good job, especially in the last year, as a city, in making sure that more families have access to our programs, that we provide more funding to cover some of the programs that we offer as a city. And of course, there's much more that we can do, but at least we're doing it. And I think that at the end of the day, we have to be a model for other municipalities, and that's the responsibility that regardless if you're an elected official or not, we also have to do our part. I always tell everybody, you don't need to be an elected official to make a difference in everybody, in people's life. You don't have to be the CEO of a company to say that you're doing something for someone else, that you're making a difference for a particular community. I think that you all make a difference already in your roles, because you're all leaders. You either have a special need member in your family, or at least you know someone that actually has a special need family member. And I don't like to call or use the word special needs. I like to call them angels, because I think they're all angels. You have an angel in your family, and we have angels in our community. So when I started working in San Ignacio University, one of the goals that actually with the president and founder, which happened to have a family member that is in the spectrum, I told him, listen, why, if we have the spaces, why we don't come out with a program for special needs at the university level? I know that Miami-Dade College offer a program, FIU have their program, but at the same time, I have heard the stories of the families that have tried to enroll their kids in those programs, and I know the challenges that they face. Because obviously, FIU, it's a large university, Miami-Dade College, thousands of students, and they make the accommodations for special needs families and kids, but it's not the same. So you lose that touch, you lose that opportunity to do something for that angel that you have sitting in front of you. So we were able to, for the last 3-4 months, we have been working in how we can actually come up with a program that really makes sense to the families and for these kids. Something that they can actually start applying right away, especially if they start getting older. Because that's one of the main concerns that I know you as a family have. I mean, what's gonna happen when I turn 60, when I turn 70, when I'm no longer here? So this program, which I'm not gonna cover tonight because this is your night, we will be sending the information because we're gonna have an informative session here at the university in the next week or so that you can come over and you can hear about the program. But I can tell you that the program is going to be designed for, it's a 12-month program. It's a diploma that we're going to be giving out as a university. And it's a program that will be divided in innovation, communication, marketing. And the reason and the way that has been designed is based on abilities. Something that you can apply right away. Something that they can apply right away. And we're using AI, because right now everything is about AI, to make things more interactive and for them to have a real experience about what they're learning. So we're very happy. We just finished that program this week. So we're very happy that we were able to finalize the program, that everything has been according to what we would like to see looking forward, and something that really makes a difference and really makes sense to you as family, and especially for these angels. So before I leave, once again I want to say thank you for being here tonight. It's great that this is going to be your new home. This is your home. Please know that. And we're happy to welcome you. I told them that they're going to have all our support, and you guys are going to have all our support. Please know that this is your home, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Before I leave, I just want to show you, because a lot of people don't know what San Ignacio is about. San Ignacio University has been here for the last 17 years in the city of Doral. We're very happy to say that we're an accredited university in the US, and our programs have been readapted for today's need. Just to give you an example, a lot of people don't think they can earn a doctorate degree now, because you start thinking about 4 years, 5 years, the research, right, doctor? You know that. So for people that have a master's degree, please know that our doctorate program has been readapted to a 2 years program and no thesis. So no research, it's a capstone at the end. So we're very happy with the results. It's a 2 years program. Our masters are a 1.5 year masters. Our bachelors are 3 years bachelors. So keep that in mind, because education for me and for all of you, I'm sure, is the key to success. So, and it's the only way to make it happen in this country, and at least we have the opportunities in this country. So keep that in mind. I'm just going to show you very quick a short video about San Ignacio University. We're here to help you. We're here to support you. And I just want to thank you, once again, thank you so much for being here tonight. I know you're making a difference for them, but think that you're making a difference for a whole community. So have a great night. Enjoy the weekend.
A challenge that has become a reality. Establishing an educational institution in the United States, one that meets the demands that the world's most influential country requires, carrying forward an educational enterprise of the highest level. This is how San Ignacio University was born, the first American university of Peruvian origin, accredited, authorized, and licensed in the United States. We chose Miami, a cosmopolitan hub, and one of the most important cities in the U.S., a place that has evolved into a thriving center for new businesses, attracting the world's leading corporations, facilitating major commercial operations, and offering countless cultural and touristic attractions. From this vibrant city, we have been shaping professionals under the philosophy of USIL Educational Corporation. For 55 years, this corporation has developed a distinctive and unique educational model. One that nurtures individuals from early childhood education through university studies and lifelong learning. At San Ignacio University, our solid trajectory has enabled Spanish-speaking students to pursue their careers both in person and online, granting them access to high-level professional programs. Our personalized education approach ensures that each student's unique learning needs are met, while also providing them with a U.S. degree that opens doors to global opportunities. One of our key differentiators is our career-oriented programs, designed to meet the demands of companies worldwide. We are committed to fostering an entrepreneurial mindset among our students, empowering them to bring their business ideas to life. We offer a diverse and competitive range of programs, including associate and bachelor's degrees in marketing, business, international business, hospitality management, and sports and fitness management. Graduate programs such as MBA, Masters in Hospitality Management, Education, Sports and Fitness Management, Big Data, Artificial Intelligence, and Cybersecurity. To strengthen English proficiency within our student community, we provide an English as a Second Language, ESL program, designed to help students develop advanced speaking, writing, and reading skills, preparing them for high-impact presentations, and ensuring they fully comprehend academic texts. Our educational programs integrate the STEAM methodology, emphasizing technical, scientific, and artistic skills across various learning stages. With the goal of maximizing our students' potential, we also offer the double degree program, allowing students to pursue a university degree in their home country while simultaneously earning a second degree at San Ignacio University. Additionally, our exclusive partnership with the world's largest entertainment company, which provides unique opportunities for our students, Walt Disney World. Over the past 18 years in the United States, San Ignacio University has experienced unprecedented growth. We now continue this vision with our new university campus, set to open in 2026 in a prime location, just minutes from Miami International Airport and the city's key attractions. This state-of-the-art campus will feature modern facilities, a wide range of academic services, and cutting-edge technology, ensuring an inspiring learning experience for our students. Throughout our journey, San Ignacio University has actively promoted Peruvian culture and gastronomy, achieving milestones such as the Guinness World Record for the world's largest quinoa salad in 2015. And in 2024, the world's largest tamale tasting, made with Cusco's giant corn in a historic event alongside the majestic BAP Union. Today, just as we did 20 years ago, we are making it possible for thousands of young professionals from around the world to study in the United States, a country where dreams turn into opportunities. Together, we will continue turning this dream into reality.
Just give me a second while Alexandra brings a little token of our appreciation
for your
to Miss Her.
by my daughter that is in the spectrum disorder. Her daughter. Thank you.
So, first of all, thank you, Councilman Pinyero, for your beautiful words, for opening the doors of this beautiful place to our children, to our families, and for the opportunity of bringing Illumine to life over here at San Ignacio. Thank you, Dr. Ann, for being with us here tonight. My name is Ivan Sáenz. For those of you that don't know me, I am Maliri's husband. Okay, now we know you.
Now we know you.
I'm here on behalf of all the families, like my family, who have been blessed with not only love and the opportunity of being here where we are tonight, but blessed with the opportunity to be parents to a very gifted, courageous, brave angel. Like other parents here, we are together with one purpose above all, and that is to be able to facilitate the means for children to leave a legacy to the community and to the world. With that said, I want to share part of a verse from the Bible, from Matthew 28:19. Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations.
Amen.
Why do I bring this up here tonight? Because in this discipleship path, we have been blessed by an outstanding person, something that has had a vision and has led the way to establish a second home for our very special children. I want to talk about Dr. A, my friend. Dr. Altaf has been in education for the past 20 years. He has worked as a classroom teacher, a coach, a special education director, an administrator, a handyman, a consultant, as well as the founder of multiple secondary programs and one very special school for students with special needs. This beautiful place includes a therapy group that provided ABA, SD, and OT to our beautiful angels. Currently, he is here tonight with us, and he is sharing his knowledge, his love for his vocation and our children and the families, as he's helping us get Illumine up on its feet. He earned degrees and certifications from Ferris State University, Florida International University, Central Florida University, and Martin Luther College. Dr. A, from now on, I'm going to call you Dr. Thermometer for so many degrees you have. For the past 7 years, he has focused on developing programs for those magnificent human creatures that are our special children, our angels. Without further ado, Dr. A.
Thank you very much, Ivan. Again, it is a blessing to be here with all of you. And I didn't know exactly what Dr. Helmus was going to share with everyone, but I very much appreciated, kind of heard discussing a little bit about the motivation or the reason or rationale as to why certain people may not say no, why they don't take no for an answer. Because I very much have been asked that question multiple times, because it seems like what we're doing is crazy. But I think it comes back to this. In fact, this is from 1 John 4:19. We love because he first loved us.
Amen.
When John writes these words, he reminds us that love doesn't begin with us. It begins with God. God's love is not a reward for our goodness or our effort, or our abilities. Right? God's love is a gift. It's poured out freely through Jesus Christ, who came into the world to redeem and restore all of us. His love is the starting point for everything we do as Christians. And so for me, that's what tonight is about. We've come together, in fact, because God's love has touched our hearts and moved us to love others, especially those in our community, our children, who need a place to learn, to grow, and to be cherished for exactly who God made them to be. In a world that too often overlooks those with special needs, the love of Christ calls us to see what he sees. Every child is precious, valuable, and created with purpose. Each child reflects the image of God, not in spite of their difference, but through them. Starting a school like this, again, it's an act of faith, but it's also an act of love. And it's a love that mirrors the love God has shown us in Jesus. So when we love these children, when we love those in our families, in our community with special needs, when we support their families and create a place where they can thrive, we're living out the gospel in the most tangible way. Seeing this community come together, honestly, it's amazing, just the love and respect everyone here has for one another. It's been a blessing to see that. And for me, again, it's had a profound impact on me with my own family. And so I'm very thankful for all of you. The beauty of it is this: we're not doing it alone. The same God who loved us first continues to pour his love into us, giving us what we need to share his love with others. So tonight, as we do come together, as we pray and dream that we're going to get this school going, again, we're not just building a school, we're building a community, a living witness to the truth that we love because he first loved us. All right. So to some of the nitty-gritty, a lot of new faces here, so I just want to give a brief background. Illumine School. We are a nonprofit corporation registered here in here in Florida. We are an affiliate member of the Wisconsin Evangelical Lutheran Synod. And at the end of the day, we are made up of members of this community. And so we have Alessandra Hormasa and Francisco Bustos. They've been, again, huge advocates for the school. Malili and Ivan, again, huge supporters of the school. Susana Chaya and Abdel, where are you at? Susana, okay, and Abdel's hiding somewhere. Ana Salam and Enrique, there he is, there's Abdel. Lorena Fernandez and Enrique Herleman back on the camera. Oh, I did, I messed that up. I apologize. Oh my goodness, I'm embarrassed. George Khalil has been a huge supporter. They're not here today, but Bernardo Ferreira, Pastor Ben Kurth, Matt Willems, and myself. Again, these are a lot of people who have been very much working together to get this. I messed up. They're singing, have a good night. But anyways, I just want to give you a brief rundown of who we are. We are part of this community. We're here to, again, start a school, to support those in our community with needs, to include those in our own families, but to also share that love with others in the community. I am going to show, some of you have already seen this, but there are a lot of new faces here, so it's about a 1.5-minute video. Just a very brief introduction to Illumine School. It is on YouTube if you look it up. But a couple of families took the time to put it together to share, again, what we are hoping to accomplish. So we'll watch this short video before I continue.
Places where you simply learn, and others where you truly blossom. Illumine School is not just a school, it's a second home, a place of love, respect, and guidance, where every child is seen, and so does their families. Because this isn't just a school, it's their second home, their community, their place in the world. Illumine School, education with purpose, a home where every child learns they can and that they will always be deeply loved.
All right, so many of you have already heard presentations from me, so I'm not going to go through everything that I've shared in the past. Again, if you do want to learn more specifics, you can go watch some of the videos on YouTube. You can visit our website. But what I do want to review is, again, when we get down to it, as we are continuing to move forward, just want to remind you, again, of the nuts and bolts of Illumine School. We do have a model in place. We have done this before, so this is not just a brand new idea. We are modifying an idea that we've done before because we are working with a slightly different population and we want to provide the best services that we can for our students. But we've identified students. We in fact have a staff identified. We have an ABA partner identified. And so again, as we're looking to, in the very near future, sign a lease, a lot of these things we can again begin publishing and sharing. And so again, we're really excited. We know we have demand to grow. So while we plan on starting quite literally with only one class, by the second year we'll add a second classroom. And at the end of the day, that leaves us today where I believe we do have a goal to start in August of 2026, which gives us about 10 months. And at the end of the day, two things are needed. And these are things we've been kind of waiting for. One, the facility, and two, startup costs. And so for me, one of the things I'm very excited about and being able to share with you tonight, which Mr. Pinyero already alluded to. But at the end of the day, I'm excited that we are going to be working with them in a partnership and in fact to be able to host the school here. So in fact, you are in the facility where, again, Illumine School will be open. And when we had our last community event and he approached me to talk to me about the possibility of working with them, it's actually really exciting to hear that the program here, a lot of what they do is online, a lot of what they do is evening classes, and so they have classrooms that are, by far and large, empty during the day. And what a blessing that we can come in and utilize it during the day. And again, I think it will be an awesome opportunity to not only have them support us, but God willing, our students will then be able to roll into programs that they're offering as our students get older. So I pray we can have a very symbiotic relationship with San Ignacio. So I look forward to see how that grows and develops. So again, it's an amazing thing. And really, what does that leave us with? At the end of the day, by working with San Ignacio, at the end of the day, I don't know if we could ask for more, because if we had to buy a building, if we had to fully furnish everything, working with the parents, it's like, wow, how do we raise $4.5 million to get this thing off the ground? Whereas working with San Ignacio, I believe, putting a budget together, we're looking at a goal of $150,000 to be able to open, right? And that's a very, very doable number. At the end of the day, I don't know if you can see these numbers, but the Drexel Foundation, which is a foundation that made a grant to open our previous school, I've already talked to them and they're willing to again support us again with a $70,000 grant, which the first year would be $40,000 and then $15,000 the 2 subsequent years. We've already, through some of these small fundraising events, we've raised about $5,000, which honestly is a good thing because we raised more than that, but we've had to buy other materials and things to get started, pay for websites, things of that nature. And just talking with other individuals who have gifted donations as well. So we approximately have $50,000 committed already, which leaves us with approximately $100,000 to go. Again, I think that's a very doable thing that God willing, we'll look to try to raise that amount, if possible, by January, because come January, I'd love to start signing contracts with those teachers. I'd love to get that lease signed, again, so that we can actually get everything moving. And beyond just those donors, again, I put a few of the different businesses in the area that have already started working to support us. Last couple fundraisers were in fact at La Terraza. Again, I'm very thankful for their support. Tonight, Las Calenitas and Jersey Mike's provided us some snacks and hors d'oeuvres, so I hope you all ate some of it because I don't want to take any of it back home with me on a plane. Being in this location when we first visited, I think myself and some of the parents were actually amazed how much of a blessing this location can be. Because when we do work with our students, we want to introduce them to the community as they're getting older and not just keep them in a classroom. And so we've already started approaching some of the businesses right here in the area, and a couple of them have our Illumine sticker already on their front doors. And so again, that's an exciting thing. CKO Boxing, again, we're starting to talk with them about, in fact, starting our day with physical education in their gym, right, which is downstairs. This restaurant here, I think we started talking to them about, for our lunch, actually going to the restaurant and started exposing them to being in the restaurant and helping them to find success there. 107 Beauty Bar and Spa. They're offering every other week to take our students there to get their hair washed. I think we could work with the parents if they want to get their hair cut, their nails done with the support of the staff, because for some of our kids, it's actually a really hard thing to get done. Anyways, we want to continue working with, again, local community businesses and find ways to help our students successfully transition into the community. And so at the end of the day, I think we're looking to support students, again, probably about middle school up through young adults. And God willing, when we get that going, I would love for the next phase to be supporting our adult population, which again is another piece that's missing. But this is where we're starting now. And so again, I'm very thankful again for the support we've received from so many people. And I do believe this is a very, very doable goal to raise 100,000. And so we are on our way. So what I'd like to ask all of you for is the first thing, I do want to ask for your prayers. At the end of the day, working with the families, it's been awesome. We want to work at it with all of our might, but we also want to take it to the Lord in prayer, knowing again, all things ultimately depend on Him. As you're here tonight, we would love for you to share what we're doing with other people, as we do want to build the Illumine community. If you're so inclined, if you do want to donate or make gifts, we are again a nonprofit, so it is again a tax write-off. If that's something that you're interested in, you can talk to me later and we can make that happen. And at the end of the day, for $100,000, if we don't quite make it with donations, I do believe we also have the opportunity, if somebody wanted to do it as a personal investment, we can also get to that $100,000 goal. So again, if you know people that are willing to support us to get to that final 100,000 mark, again, please reach out and talk to me, because we're very much looking forward to get this thing moving just in the next couple of months. So again, I'm very thankful for all of your support. All right, so with that in mind, I can take a couple questions and answers.